Good morning, man. The risk on continues, guys. All right. I don't know where everyone is. Used to have a larger audience. Things start ripping and things are tailing off a little bit. I don't get it, but whatever. Guess you guys don't like to make money. All right. So let's talk about this. Wow. I got it. There's so much to cover, man. So much to cover. You see TFPP up 50%. What was the target I gave you that on the show here in the chat room? We'll get to everything in just a second with the macro. But I was looking at that chart earlier on TFFP. It just opened trading at 9 a.m. Really good phase 2 data out. And I guess I have to do the math again. All right, there we go. 13.50. Okay. So $8 through 13.50. Okay, $8 was the after hours close. So 8, 9.50, and 13. All right, those are the three numbers I want to keep in mind. We'll come back to that. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna just put a limit order in here. I promise you I'll get to everything else in just a second. TFFP. I'm gonna try to pick some up this morning. Oh, I can't do it. Limit order too far away from the. Oh, Fidelity doesn't let me do that until 9:30 a.m. Unfortunately. All right, guys, risk on. We'll come back to that. Okay. So last night we had the Bank of Japan leaving a loose monetary policy, leaving interest rates untouched, which is loose over there where it's at now. China liquidity injection, TLT reacting up 0.85%. And of course, anyway, even if TLT was down a little bit, that's okay because TLT well above the 200 DMA. But when it's up, that's even more fuel for the fire, fuel for KRE, IWM, and ARC. And as you can see there, 0.8%, 0.7%, 0.8%, 1% beating QQQ SPY. The place to be right now is risk assets. And so we continue. It's December 19th. I think this is going to continue until the end of the year. Let's just talk about timing a little bit. We got, I think Monday is off, I believe, for Christmas. And tax loss selling for stocks that are not participating, whether it's SMSI or something else, right? You can see bids starting to develop right after Christmas, right before Christmas even, end of this week into Tuesday. And I'm looking for 25 to 30, 50% moves in stocks like that from the last week of December through January. On the flip side of that, look out for these mega caps that kept on going to new all-time highs. Costco, a good example, things like that. I think we can see big sell-offs in stocks like that January 2nd. I've seen this movie before. People are deferring paying their taxes for another year by selling the asset in the following tax year. And of course, the tax loss selling, you know all about that and why that baits in the last week of December. That's the big picture. Other than that, risk on December 19th. We still got lots of time to make lots of great money. Let's move on over to our top picks. By the way, INMB, I got tired of this stuff. I still had a little bit. I washed my hands clean of that. FDA keeping the clinical hold on for their trial for Alzheimer's. Quipt, I don't have time for these little micro caps. Come on, there's so much better stuff in these growth names, in these larger market caps. So we're going to stick with stuff like that. But TFFP, though, I got to tell you, really good data out this morning on phase 2. Again, I can't get in. This is going to be super volatile. It's now only a 2 million float, and the range it's going to trade in, one more time, is between 8 and 13. And it's closer to the bottom of the range right now at around $9, except my broker doesn't let me get in. Actually, hold on. Let me just try one more time now that it's dropping a little further. I would love to get some at 8. Let's see if it'll let me. All right, let's see if I could do this. Just go to see if it lets me do this price here. All right, got a little bit in. Let's see. All right, so TFFP, just a little bit of fun with extreme volatility on good phase 2 data. But guess what? They're probably going to raise money. And this will come right back down after a day or so. All right. So let's forget about those games and focus on the good stuff. Bitcoin, we gave you this alert yesterday. Man, we predicted, if you're in the chat room, we predicted the move back over the 20 DMA before it happened, right? Because we're looking at sentiment. We're looking at other things. This is the beauty of the 4-pillar process at story trading. We're not only looking at technicals. How did we follow sentiment? Well, we looked at the price action in other cryptos, and we saw the miners, whether it was Coinbase or Mara, they were rocketing to 52-week highs while Bitcoin was still below the 20-day moving average. So based on that sentiment, we predicted and got ahead of the move. In fact, I bought some Bitcoin calls, BITO, because of that price action yesterday. So it went right back over the 20 DMA. At this point, you got resistance here at, let's see, 43,400. Let's call it 43,500. If you clear 43,500, you're going back to the highs there at 44.7. Okay. So Bitcoin is in play, but that's not going to be my top focus for the day. Top focus for the day. Let's go to these top picks. Let's start at Chewy. So we've been in all these names, right? Risk on continuing on Chewy, Carvana, Rivian, Neo, Blank, right? If you've been on our show every day last week or so, you know all the catalysts driving this. I'm not just going to buy stock with a breakout. I got to have a catalyst, and I got to understand the catalyst and understand why that demand. That's how we do it here at Story Trading. And then we try to front run the technical traders. Instead of waiting for the breakout, we get in ahead of the breakout because we understand the nature of the delta of information. And is the nature of that delta of information going to be enough to cause a positive delta in price or a negative delta in price? All right. We're actually doing real work here. We're actually analyzing the market, analyzing the data, and looking at the things that actually drives prices rather than just reacting to prices, which is what pure technical traders do. Now, we do look at the technicals, obviously, because so many other people look at the technicals, and we love the breakouts, right? And the momentum that just brings more traders in when you break above key moving averages. All right, so Chewy, we've been on this because of multiple catalysts, multi analysts coming in the last several days, multiple insider buys, another Form 4 release last night, another analyst comes out this morning. Jeffrey starts with a buy, $27 price target. All right, and now we told you the key level is 22.29 to break. We are above 22.29 in pre-market, so I'm probably going to be adding more today. All right. Maybe at the open, maybe I'll look for a pullback to 22.29. I don't know. I'm not sure how I'll play that. Okay. But 22.29, that's the breakout level. And above 22.29, the next resistance I see, the bottom of this candle right here at 23.03. And then the top of this candle right here at 25.46, 23.03, 25.46. I'm writing all these down for myself too. 22.29. And then if you get over 25.46, you can fill the gap right there at 26.83. All right. So this can get fun on Chewy, top pick right now of the day. Now I missed TFFP by 30 cents. We'll see. All right. So, any case, that's Chewy. Carvana breaking out here. Oh my gosh. 57.39. What was their level here? Let's see. Oh, come on. Stop this nonsense with this chart. I missed TD. Where is it, man? I don't even 57.19. Okay. We're above Carvana. Okay. Carvana above 57.19 in pre-market. Holy schmoly. Let's see where this is going, guys. This is crazy. We got 58.19 after that. No, 58.05. So Carvana 57.19. 58.05, and then, oh my lord, this thing can go crazy over the next couple months towards $100. Wow, I might have to buy some far out of the money call options with a few months time on Carvana. This is crazy chart. Okay, RSI getting a little stretched, but this is a significant level. We'll see. It is pre-market, so we'll have to see how it acts in the regular hours. But 57.19, 58.05, and then 100. All right, so that's crazy. Chewy, Carvana, top two picks of this morning. We've been steady with our top picks. We've been basically swinging all this stuff. So, all right, Rivian. Let's see where we're at with Rivian. It's in our first target range, which is 24. You can see that right here, the congestion that we had here in September. Okay. So in that range now, I did reduce. I did. And I said I recommended that, but whatever, as it goes and hits the target. So I reduced a little bit, 24. Now I'm looking for 28. All right. 27.50 to 28. That's the next level on Rivian. And why did we have this here? You know what? I forgot the catalyst that triggered it, but there was a catalyst that triggered it. It must have been some analyst upgrades or something that triggered it once we started watching this. And I'm sorry, I forgot what it was, but obviously that was enough to trigger the technical move. And now it's risk on. And here we go. All right. So that's looking good. NIO, I remember the catalyst because that was yesterday. Abu Dhabi invests $2 billion in NIO. Honestly, I'm surprised it didn't have a better day. So I'm wondering if we're going to see an explosive day today. We've seen that sometimes where day one, you get a muted reaction, and then you get the big reaction on day two. It did okay yesterday. This is the pre-market move up to 9. It did okay in the afternoon, closed strong. Let's look at the chart on NIO. All right. What do we got here? 851. We're above 851 now. And I guess the next level is going to be 918, your 50-day moving or 200-day moving average. Okay. So 918, and we'll see. This is highly shorted, I believe. All of these are highly shorted. All right. This just adds fuel to the fire. 4 days to cover. So NIO, let me just move back in here for a second. Thought we had a little more juice, but okay. So 918, which doesn't seem huge, but percentage-wise, it's nice. And then we'll see about getting into that gap up here, right, which is 960 to 1010. We'll see if we break the 200 DMA. What's the weekly look like here? I don't love that chart. Weekly, 938. That's a prettier look. If we close above. By the way, you see this big move here? I believe this is right after. In July, they got a $1 billion investment from this company in Abu Dhabi. It's that same entity that now added another $2 billion If 1 billion gives you a move from 8 to 16, now in a risk-on environment, can additional 2 billion, I think they own like over 20% of the company now, can this additional 2 billion cause it to break this 50-week moving average and make another move towards 12, 14, $16? And that's part of the reason I'm in this too as a swing. So Chewy, Carvana, look at these accelerations. I'm in call options on all of these. 4.5%, 3%, 1%. Beautiful. Neo, I just said Neo. 2%. Nice. We covered 4 stocks there. Great. Okay, Blink. Let's see if we can get a day 2 move on Blink. We didn't get it yesterday. I'm still holding this overnight. And here, I like the 20 DMA break on this news of Citadel getting a stake. So Citadel gets a stake. I did some fundamental research on the charging companies last night. Actually, you know what? ChargePoint's probably even better from a valuation perspective. But Blink, not bad. These companies are not profitable yet, and I really don't understand their business model and why they're hated so much. I haven't looked into that, but I can tell you from an EV to revenue perspective, it's just been diving. I look at this. You have the simple price to sales here, 1.9 on Blink. These used to have like ratios of like a couple hundred. It was crazy. All right. At some point, the revenue is exploding. By the way, you have exploding revenue. Maybe if I have another chance, another time, or if we get to the end of this list early here, maybe I'll pull up Y charts. You can see how quickly the revenue is exploding on these EV charging companies. But there must be something broken with the business model, and I don't know what that is. Haven't done the research. But in a risk-on environment with lower interest rates, I don't need to know much about the business model. I just got to know there's positive news, and you're breaking a resistance level, and boom. So Blink, 466. You can see it there. That's my target, and then maybe 550 into the new year, 530, or wherever that 200 DMA, declining 200 DMA is going to be. I really like Blink here. And I may have to have some patience on it, though. So I'm going to have some patience on it, on Blink. Snap is pulling back. Now, I did leave it. Did I leave a note that Snap's looking tired? Because of the Snap out of all these has the most extended RSI. So I was a little concerned about this. And also, we had, I think I did mention, we had our first red candle yesterday. Then we get a closed green candle. I don't like these candles. I don't like how high RSI. 1655 is your support. It's 1661 now. Okay. I do have some. I reduced by like 50% when I saw that red candle. So if we go below 1655, I'll probably sell more. I think I gave the same talk Friday, right? And it just barely held. It went to 1653. I put the limit at 1650. Just gave it room, 5 cents, and the psychologicals. Maybe I'll do the same thing today. So 1650, even though on the chart is 1655. And in case you forgot, you can look at it right here. Let me show you. Where is that beautiful 1655? Where do I have to go to weekly to see it? Okay, yeah, here it is. This candle right here. Yep, this candle right here on July 22nd, 2022, 1655, and then just sky blue over $20. All right. So let's see if we can hold 1650. Now, it's always tough when you're at those levels. Do you buy at 60? I'm not, I gotta be honest with you. When it gets to key levels like that, I'm not great at execution because I don't know what to do. Do I buy at 1650 or sell because it's about to crash below? I guess the right thing to do is wait, right? Wait for a clear. And usually what happens is if it breaks 1650, yeah, you might have that initial flush down, but then you'll go and retest it to the upside at 1650, and that's when you sell, all right? But it gets like very volatile around these key levels and definitely makes it hard to execute. But it is a key level, okay? 1650 on Snap. Hopefully we can hold that and we head to 20 plus. I don't know why it's down 2% this morning. Maybe just someone also spotted the RSI being stretched in the bad candles and they decided to get ahead of it in pre-market. I don't know. If there's news, I couldn't find any. I did look briefly. All right. Where else are we at here? That's Snap. All right, there's some other stuff here, which I really don't know if I need to focus on. There's a catalyst for Boeing. It's a $260 stock. These things are, I know Vegas loves this. She's been talking to me on the back channels on Boeing. Excellent. They got an order this morning. It's another catalyst. Apparently, they have some sort of catalyst Friday. So 157 aircrafts here. No, that's Airbus. It was Boeing got a mega order from Lufthansa here, 100 737s. So maybe Boeing will have a great day. Unfortunately, SMCI, but I totally missed this. And I missed it because, I got a process at story trading, and that's that we need a catalyst. We need a catalyst to trigger moves. So I didn't see it. Maybe I missed it, or maybe it was just a technical breakout. And we're going to miss that sometimes with our style with multiple pillars. I want the catalyst. I didn't see the catalyst in my newsfeed. So I missed this big move on SMCI and as far as trading or options, but it is my largest position in my IRA. And I got to tell you, SMCI right now above this candle, 317, that's your support. Okay. 317.50 is your support. I think this is going over 357. The beautiful thing about SMCI is the valuation is really good, forward PE of 18, and the RSI is really low. Look at this gigantic move in the last week or so, and the RSI is still below 70, and it has a habit of getting overbought and heading to close to 90. So this one, to me, because of that RSI and the low PE, I think SMCI is going over 357. I don't know the exact time frame, obviously, but that's my target, over 357. And my support here is, again, this candle. Let's get that 317.50. Okay. Snap moving in on that 1650 level. 1 second. Okay. All right. So let's see what else we got here. Lilly, did they have news? I thought I had any. Okay. This is what I saw with Lilly. Lilly, where did I see this? Here we go. So Goldman Sachs, this is an interesting article, which is a little bit hard to follow. I wish I had the reported by Business Insider. Let me click this link. Hold on. Let's see if we can find this. Okay, here we go. This came out yesterday afternoon, Business Insider. So could soar 140% by 2028. Let me see where they got the 140%, because I didn't see a price target that looked like it was 140%. They kept their, I think what they did is they kept their price target of $600. Goldman Sachs, obviously big, they can move markets. So here we go. See, they kept their neutral rate. This is what is not explicit. It says, despite the bullish projections, Goldman still rates Eli Lilly neutral and a $600 price target, representing 5% upside. So where's the 140% at? It's not in this article. It must be in the actual report, which I don't have access to. Okay. And it must be a 2028 target. So 2028, they're looking at 140% move from the current level. So interesting. Let's see how Lilly did. So this could potentially be a mover. If you like the high price stocks for options, then Boeing and Lilly and Costco, these things might be interesting for you. But I think we have lots of good stuff to focus on, and I don't think we need them. But just letting you know of that news there in case you want to play it. All right. I gave this alert on Enphase last night, and I guess I'm not going to short it. It's just the market's too bullish. If you look at the solar sector, it's all up. I remember when Enphase had some really good news over the summer, and it just wasn't moving because it was moving with TAN. No matter what the individual news on Enphase was, it was moving with TAN. So TAN is up 1.78%. I'm seeing a lot. See Goldman Sachs still like solar stocks. I'm seeing a lot of bullish commentary on solar stocks. So the individual catalyst of Enphase, as I said in the chat room last night, cutting 10% of their workforce, usually that's bullish, okay? But they're also ceasing operations at contract manufacturing locations in Romania and Wisconsin. So I don't like that, because it's not just about saving money; it's also about demand coming down. So I guess if markets were more normal or stable or whatever, I would have been okay. Enphase might be a short, but you don't want to fight this tailwind right now the market has. So I guess I'm not going to short it. I have a little bit of a hedge. small hedge shorting IWM, very small, because I mean, it's just so scary to be long options, fully pedal to the metal. That's the right thing to do, but I feel like I need a little bit of a hedge. So I've had a little bit of short IWM. And that's okay. Gives me confidence to hold things overnight. And it's good to keep your eyes out for shorts on bad news, but an Enphase maybe could have been one of them. But with this whole solar sector up this morning in pre-market, and with those positive commentary of analysts for the sector, I think I'm going to stay. All right, it's 9:24 a.m. I see the crowd built a little bit over the show, so that's good. So look at our top picks, man. And these have been our top picks. Chewy, Carvana, Rivian, Neo. I got call options on all of them. Blink, beautiful. Snap, a little bit of a problem. Thankfully, I did reduce, but now I don't know what to do. I'm just telling you the levels. You figure out how to execute this, man. 1650, that's your support level. And I guess the right thing to do is to wait. Don't anticipate. Wait to see if it breaks below 1650. Wait to see if it bounces off it strongly, then maybe you buy more at 1670. If it breaks 1650 and rushes down to 1630, then you can sell and reduce when it retests at 1650. I think that's the right thing to do. You'll have to figure out for yourself what to do on Snap. It's right there right now at this very important key level. And with that, we're going to say goodbye. Oh, I opened up a trading account ago, purely options based on the Story Trading morning show. Okay. I started with $17,000. That was all I could scrap together for this account. And I started talking about a little bit on my personal Twitter, but started with 17. It drew down to about 11,000 right before FOMC. And now it's at $36,000 just like in a month. 17 to 11, now 36. It's pretty diversified. Got about 10 positions. I try to get options 2 to 4 weeks out that are at the money or near the money. And that's what I'm doing with this account right now. And it's all like everything I have is everything we're talking about. Chewy, Bitcoin, Carvana, Rivian, Neo, Blink. I got call options in all of these. Snap, unfortunately, this morning. And I cheated. I have one on I got some on Celsius. I mentioned this in the chat room yesterday, but it really hasn't triggered from a story trading perspective. There's no catalyst, and it's really chopping down here. I'm just trying to anticipate maybe a rotation once we get that volatility in January, right? Because everyone's in those mega caps are chasing everything, and they're leaving maybe stocks like Celsius to die. So I'm thinking, man, this valuation's low when you figure the PEG ratio and the growth, and maybe we'll see a rotation into it. So this doesn't really fit our criteria as a story trading catalyst or trigger because there's no catalyst, but that's the only one I cheated on. Everything else is everything we're talking about, and we've been killing it. That account is up from 11,000 to 36,000 in 4 days. So I'll try to keep you posted on that. Let me see what this looks like. Carvana going to test 60. Yeah, Carvana's going 100, Vince. All right, going to take some time. But what was that level? Let me see. Did I even write it down on my notes here? Carvana, it was 57.19. That's the key. After 57.19, 58.05. We got a little bit of 58.05, and then boom, kaboom, man. I can really see this thing heading up tens of dollars over the next few months towards $100. Good luck, everyone. Take care, and let's kill it. This is the time to make money.